Welcome back to Modern Homestead Alaska. If you're new around here, we are a family that moved to Alaska in 2021, and we're building this modern homestead here. And I'd like to spend time with you in my kitchen. So I hope that is something that you would like to do today. Join me for just kind of a day in the life. What do I have going on? Those of you that know my youngest son broke his back. Not only that, my brother is in town visiting. So I've had a guest in the house going on like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks of people in the house. And then people come to visit our youngest and so on. And so today, while everyone is out, I decided I would stay home, hang out with our youngest. He's taking a nap right now. And then I would just make a beautiful dinner because I feel really bad. I've been so preoccupied that I haven't been able to love on everyone with food the way that I like to love on them. So there's so many of us. I'm gonna make 2 no-knead quick yeast bread. Now, I would have preferred to make everyone sourdough, but I'm just not on top of things, and that's okay. A quick yeast bread is perfect. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a couple teaspoons of salt. That's all your flavoring is the salt in a no-knead bread, so 2 per each. And then, no, I lied. My brain's a little broke. Okay, 1 teaspoon per each. Okay, that's totally fine. And 2 teaspoons of yeast. Jeez, my brain. Now you don't have to bloom the yeast or do any of that fancy stuff with this recipe because we use warm water, not boiling water, but warm water. I keep a little bit of yeast at room temperature. I just think it acts better when you put it in the recipe, and the rest of my yeast I store in the freezer. That's just a personal preference. You certainly do not have to do it that way. Let me check on the water, see if it's warmed up, and we'll get this mixed together. So it's 1.5 cups of warm water. I didn't let it hit the boiling point, but that's kind of what's gonna activate the yeast. So 1.5 cups per loaf of bread. So it'll be 3 cups total. I just kind of want to bring it together a little bit slowly. It is a no-knead bread. You can totally do this by hand and just use a spatula and kind of bring the dough together. No big deal. I am adjusting the amount of water down. I've always made it this way for a very long time, and now all of a sudden the loaves just seem a little bit too watery, so feel free to bring the water down. It has been dumping rain here the last couple of days. I have the windows open. Our humidity's a little bit high. I've made bread enough to know this is about, probably 1/4 cup each, which is not much, but it's a little short on the flour. I could have added the water a little bit slower, no big deal, but I like a little thicker consistency on the dough. Rising in another bowl, and I got this washed, and I like to let my pasta rest before I roll it out. So I'm gonna make some homemade pasta, and because we have guests in the house, I'm not going to just go like full send it. I am using some home ground durum wheat, which makes semolina flour. So we're gonna do a few cups of that. For each cup of flour that I do, I'm gonna do 1 farm fresh egg. And then I don't use salt or oil or anything else. So perfect, it's 3 cups. And then I am going to do a combination of that with this all-purpose flour. And that is going to kind of give it more of a normal texture and flavor to what the guests would be used to. But the durum kind of gives it some girth, some meatiness. I don't know what word to really use, but it just makes for such a beautiful pasta. But we'll do 50-50s on it today. Just kind of pull this together. And then to the pasta, I'm going to just incorporate 1 at a time, farm fresh, whole eggs. I need 6 of them. I have 6 cups of pasta. These are today's eggs. Pasta. It is a, I generally do this by hand. I'm having an issue with my thumb, so that's why I'm not doing anything by hand today. But I can tell you is it's a patience game. So that semolina, that flour needs to absorb a little bit of the moisture and become pliable. Don't just immediately add water or oil or something else. So the texture is a little bit like sand. I can pull some out and it'll stick together, but not quite enough. So I'm just doing it 1 tablespoon at a time with the water. And then giving that a minute. I did decide to take it out of this mixer. I didn't like the way that was working. However, my Bosch mixer did amazing because you need to knead it for about 5 minutes until the dough comes together, and then I wrap it in some plastic wrap. The bread's been resting for about 40 minutes. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 450 degrees. And while that's preheating, I'm gonna put these Dutch ovens in here to preheat with the oven. Been resting for about 40 minutes. It's doubled in size. It's bubbly and beautiful. I guess in this video I'm just showing you some of the struggles I had with this bread. It does in the end turn out fine. This isn't the first time that it's been like a little too wet or moist. It is a little bit sticky, so I did use some parchment and some flour, and I just kind of want to roll it around a little and get it formed into a loaf. It needed probably half a cup, maybe a cup more flour for the 2 loaves. However, like I said, it does end up fine. The oven has been going for 15 minutes and the bread has been rising. So I've never had this happen where the it's so sticky. I don't know. Here we go. We'll try it. It should be fine. Still going in. Ooh, missed the herb there. All right, girls. Everybody in the kitchen, in the sink. Okay, 4, I'm gonna turn mine down because my runs a little bit different. So I turn mine down to 425 for the first 30 minutes, lid on. We'll see where it goes from there. I think I can see them coming down the driveway. Everyone's on their way home, so I'm gonna start the pasta sauce. The pasta itself has been resting. Let me show you the loaves of bread. They ended up okay. They smell delicious. So those are great. Here was something I had to make today. I made a huge mistake and accidentally thawed out all of these hamburgers. So instead of wasting them, I thought what I would do is cook them up. So I've been just running them in the oven so I don't have to pay attention to them or get grease splattered all over the kitchen. And then I am going to freeze them for Caleb and Wyatt for some convenience food because I also have the buns for them. So let's get the meat going. I'm using a combination of ground beef and sausage today. Want to roll out pasta? I'm gonna mess it up.
Well, you got it, buddy. You can do something around here.
It's a spin.
This is what Teddy gets
Teddy.
every single morning at 6 a.m. for school. This is what he gets: blue Takis in either Starbucks drink or a soda.
What? Frappuccino parties?
Oh, those look yummy. So what are we gonna do with these? Is one of these? Can you just pick apart and eat her?
No, we'll just slice it up when dinner is ready. Just normal. This is normal bread.
Yeah.
But I made it for you.
It looks good.
It's gonna be delish. Delicious.
Am I able to...
I think one of the things I most look forward to is when we'll actually have the big island bar in the kitchen instead of this table, because just having the nephews here socializing with me and telling me stories and talking about what life is like at home is such an enjoyable time for me. And then I did make 2 pastas. You're seeing me kind of slice up the bacon. I've made this bacon pasta before. I've made red sauce before on here. Today I just used jarred red sauce. So it's just okay. It's okay to do what you can do and make it through, and get everyone to the table is the important part. The pasta had been resting most of the afternoon. I don't have an attachment to like the KitchenAid or anything, so I hand roll out the pasta with this little hand roller. And I'm gonna tell you, I've used this so many times and it is honestly such a good investment. I think I got it off of Amazon. We lived in Arizona, and if you were to ask me what is the best meal I have ever made or ever ate, it was a pasta dish in Arizona where we had roasted some butternut squash, and I made raviolis out of it, and salad and homemade bread, and very, very similar meal to tonight. And so yeah, I honestly think something like this is simple. I don't make so much pasta generally at home out of like fresh pasta that I have invested in something. However, I do know with the amount of durum wheat that I have and the amount of eggs that we produce, that making my own homemade egg noodles would be very, very beneficial to save for the future And I do think come this fall, that might be a project that I work on. At that point, I might invest in a different kind of pasta roller, but this one has worked out excellently. All I do is just slice off small pieces of the pasta. It rolls it out. I kind of flatten it a little bit. And then I do toss it in a little bit of flour, and that just prevents the pasta from sticking together. Put it in nice little piles, and it cooks up so quick and easy that this is not a 9 or 10 or 12-minute boil. We're talking like 2, maybe 3 minutes max is all it takes to cook fresh pasta like this. One of the vegetable side dishes, because there's so many people in the house and we're having the kind of the heavy weight of pasta, I love summer squashes. So the yellow squash and the green zucchinis, and I just slice them up into either slices or rounds. It does not matter. Cut them in any shape that you like. And I put them on a baking sheet. And then I get some fresh garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and peel most of a head between the vegetables and then the pasta sauce that I am making. And so I just pop open several garlic heads. And then I kind of recorded this in a funny order, so here in a second you'll see me make a dish in between. But I just take the garlic cloves, I use a little grapeseed oil or olive oil or oil of choice, and then I put fresh garlic cloves on, just straight onto the zucchini, and just season it up however you like. So for me, I used some crushed red pepper flakes and some garlic salt, and then I just put the zucchini straight under the broiler, but low in the oven, so it's getting that hot, heavy heat. And then I toss it once, put a little Parmesan cheese, and voila, you have some roasted vegetables. And earlier in the video, you saw me put away my Azure order, but I had all of these fresh fruits and vegetables. And so I thought, you know what, I'll make as well a big salad. And so people can kind of have a choice of what they wanted with their pasta. I did some lettuce and some of those little baby bell peppers that I sliced up and de-seeded as best I could, but the seeds don't really matter in those, at least not to us. We also did some fresh tomato. I like to dice it in some good size chunks because not everyone likes tomato. Well, in my house we do all like tomatoes, but I try and leave kind of the salad toppings to where if someone doesn't enjoy that they can leave that to the side. We also had some of these sugar snap peas. These are one of Aaron's absolute favorite fresh eating vegetables. I just kind of took the ends off of those. And I don't always, but I do sometimes add a little bit of onion. However, this onion I am dicing up for the pasta sauce. And I am doing a voiceover, not because I don't want you to hear what's going on, but there is literally so many people in the house having so many conversations that I personally enjoyed listening to the video as I made it, as my husband and my brother and nieces and nephews and our children and all of that chaos of family is happening around me. However, I'm not sure everyone out there would enjoy just family conversations. So that's why you're getting the voiceover on this part of the video. Is life is happening in my house, and that is the best way for things to happen around here, I guess is sort of what I'm getting at. But this pasta I've made before, I don't always do onions in it. I just kind of switch things up what it really truly is kind of a bacon grease type of cheesy pasta. So bacon, some red pepper flakes, some garlic salt, onion, garlic, some mascarpone cheese, and then you kind of melt it all together and it makes a delicious bacon pasta. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, would you do me a favor and go ahead and hit that right now so you don't miss anything that we're doing on our homestead here in Alaska. We show you lots and lots of different parts of our life, and we would love to have you join us.
I don't think they're on Saturday.
The bread
There's no
ended
way to
up
get you home.
just fine, although it was a little chewy. We're about to boil the homemade pasta. We have all of our sauces ready and everyone's coming to the table. I just dropped that fresh pasta into some salted boiling water, and it only takes a couple of minutes, but so that everyone could have a choice on the pasta. Normally with a fresh pasta, I would dress it in the cream sauce or in the red sauce. I didn't do that on this day, just served it separately, and everyone got to choose how they wanted it. In fact, you know, I'll show you in just a second all of it come together. If you would like to leave a comment or a thumbs up, I do try to get back to my comment section, and I would enjoy hearing from you. Thank you, each and every one of you that have joined us today for this family gathering video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I truly, truly am so blessed that you are here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Then I'm realizing they're all looking downrange. I'm over here going.
Happy family dinner, Wyatt! Say hi, everyone wants to know how you're doing.